Right, I have run much later than I expected, but I did somehow get here on time. Thank you so much for CCS and Heavy Hitters for holding up for me. I am going to throw it over to the draft as we're basically getting straight into things because, well, there's a lot of traffic slowing me down, but I got here eventually. So let me jump on over to the draft. Hopefully I've gone live properly. I didn't actually check that because I was like, huh, rip it and go. See what happens. So let's see. We do have a draft coming up. Brightwing band out first. I will kind of talk over this draft as well. Kind of have a chat about what's happening in terms of everything. So, CCS, they did ban out. I don't even actually know his first pick. So CCS has first pick. I don't quite know who won the coin toss. So Matt pick went over to Heavy Hitters, and they chose to go to Ultrarak first, which is a very interesting one to me. I have mixed feelings about Ultrarak, also Hierarch, I hope you're doing well. Ultrarak is one of those ones where it's a very circular gameplay loop. We are wanting to do the same thing constantly. And I think Heavy Hitters, I guess we'll have to see how well they do here, but hopefully CCS can chalk up their first win of the season and get it themselves. Right, now that I have... Oh wait, there's still a few more things I need to talk about. So CCS did ban out the Dragonshire and Braxis Holdout, so not those super strong offland. Those maps you need the stronger offlanders they've gotten rid of. Heavy Hitters has banned out Battlefield of Eternity, so both kind of major two-lane maps are gone, as well as Towers of Doom. Not liking that one apparently. That led us here to Ultrarak. Right, now that I have a moment, I forgot to change it. Now that I have a moment, I'll change it over to the draft, shall I? So we have had the 4 bans go off, and we are going to be going into the actual series. And we can see CCS banned out the Brightwing and Sergeant Hammer, while Heavy Hitters banned out the Sylvanas and Diablo. And we can see Junkrat first picked here by Can't Connect Stuns, which now that I have time to finally settle in, I may actually write up your names in full. Sorry, I very much got here 2 minutes late. It has been a long day and traffic was not kind to me. But we're here at the end, so good. And we can see Mephisto and Anubrek band picked up by Heavy Hitters, who I've just written as Heavy for now, so that's a bit rude. But no, Heavy Hitters, and then we can see Lucio and Blaze picked up. Blaze, I have talked about frequently enough to people know my feelings on Blaze. I do like Blaze. Welcome, Slick Rub. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. Tailband Brain it. Sometimes you don't want to deal with a big fire lizard. Also, welcome, Miss Wind Up Bird. Hope you're doing well. But next ban phase, Garrosh coming out, so we're getting a little bit of a tank choke. Maybe, I was to say, maybe we just see Blaze main take, but unlikely. Very. I'm often AFK, it's true. No. We're very much choking tanks. Blaze is not known for his... He is a main tank, yes, but he's been very much recently known for his off-lane capability rather than his main tank capability. So it'll be interesting to see whether they decide to use that as the main tank, or whether they do still flex into some other tank. But we can see Rhaegar is banned out at the end, so we are getting rid of that kind of one of those stronger healers. Healers are starting to get choked out as well, as Brightwing and Rhaegar are knocked out. Hopefully, I was like, hopefully my microphone isn't muted as well. That would have been a nightmare on top of everything, but no. Looks like it is working, and I would pray that someone goes, why can't I hear the caster? Now that I've said that, I imagine we're going to fire list the best list. Exactly. That's how I know someone's listening to me. Before someone goes, I can't hear you. No, Charizard is not best. But we can see Sonya and Anduin picked up. I do like Anduin a lot. Anduin's a very versatile healer. I do wonder if they'll be able to keep up with what's coming their way, however, as they're definitely going to be like them. I'm dying on the hill with Miss Wind Up Bird. I do much prefer Dragonite over Charizard. Last 2 picks here from the side of Can't Connect Stuns. What are we going to see? Tyrael and Greymane. Interesting to see Tyrael come out. Not the most picked hero, albeit I probably should have done a little bit more research than I was able to, considering I literally got home 2-3 minutes after I was meant to start casting, and see Cassie has picked up the end. So it is going to mess with the auto attacks that Tyrael and Greymane can do, which they do pretty well at. but can still get a lot done themselves. So I'll be very interested to see where this draft goes. I'm not going to put my money on anything just yet, but I could probably put up a poll. Love sharing hills. No, not a poll. What's a prediction? Start prediction. Let me start the in-game thing first and we'll get into it. Right, so I've actually done things correctly for once, and we are into the game. I went to the right scene. So, on the side of can't connect stuns, we do have Shredded Wind on the Greymane, Slick Rub on the Lucio, the Mainsky on the Blaze, Eric on the Rubbish Rodent Junkrat, and Porky is on that Tyrael. And on the other side, we do have Zanfanarium on the Mephisto. Ape Monkey is on the, I believe, Sonya, K-Star, Cassia. Oh my gosh. Frassimicus on the Anduin. Oh my gosh, these names. And Tezo Peiko is on that Anubarak. So it should be some interesting things. As John Knight's pointed out, also welcome John Knight. Tyrael Sanct can probably get a lot done here, especially into how Mephisto's damage is structured. You survive that initial burst, you cancel that damage coming in. He's going to struggle a lot coming into those later team fights, especially as well. He needs that damage to come out to get resets. If you can't get the damage during team fights, that is a struggling Mephisto. Meanwhile, we can see Ape Monkey has headed top where Porky and Shredded Wind are. Meanwhile, bottom we do see Tezo Peiko and Vimainsky dealing with bot lane together. Well, against each other, but together. Camps are up in just a few moments. They are up now, and we can see Blaze has already headed off. Mephisto also knowing what their duty is. Yep, there we go. And we are going to get things started. Also, bets are over. Thank you for people who bet. And meanwhile, we see Slick Rub having to deal with Ape Monkey. So I'll take a bit of time to kind of talk about these comps and what at least I think my thoughts of them are. My small brain thoughts may be. Heavy Hitters fans are beating Cow. What if there's very little Heavy Hitters fans here? Hope there's more that shows up, but I do see we get very early siege here from Can't Connect Stuns, just using that Tyrael auto attack speed, which I don't think fully comes online until 7 to get a solid start. We can see half a tower is lost, and that is a decent amount, but Shredded Wind is the one in danger. Lucio, however, is the one taking the route, does use push off and will be fine. Speaking of which, I'm going to bring up talents now. We do see Cassia is stacking the Thunderstroke quest at level 1. 9 stacks already. That's the only stack as of the moment. Stun onto Eric. Double stun onto Eric. But no damage follow-up really beside them. Maybe Zanfarium or K-Star were closer. That may be a very different story for our Rubbish Rodent. And they do push the Knolls over the fence. You know what? Your bet may be small, but I still appreciate it. It's great. There's always a chance you'll win more that way. Let's put it that way. There's a chance you'll win more. That's why I don't gamble. I realize that gambling may not be it for me, but we see Ape Monkey is in trouble with Slick Rub, Porky, and Shredded Wind trying their best to take them down. Ape Monkey realizing they may need to take a step back in case of that flask, but they are honestly going to be fine. But all the while, that is a good building take early on for the starter. Can't connect stuns. And Zanfarium is only us just taking up now. And you can see this front gate in just a matter of 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds is gone. Like, you can tell I really rushed home. I haven't even taken like my belt off. Like, I'm not in comfy shorts. I'm still in like my work clothes. That is what sort of mood we're in today. But no, we can see camps being picked up once again. Good camp discipline by Can't Connect Stuns on it much earlier than the side of Heavy Hitters. So once again, they're going to have the camp crashing just that bit closer to to the gate of Heavy Hitters than Heavy Hitters would like. Oh, there we go. And 7s are now through half a level earlier for Can't Connect stuns. Oh, that's so much better. And we can see once again we're having that heavy siege on the front gate. Porky, Shredder Wind, just wailing on it. Slick Rub trying their best as well. And that is once again, we're getting a lot of early value here for Can't Connect stuns, which is really what you want if you're them. You need to find momentum in this season still, and this is the way to do it. Just aggression from the outset. I guess the question is, Heavy Hitters get a lot of their really important tools at level 10. So how do things change when that comes around? By no means am I saying Can't Connect stuns don't have important tools. Also speaking of which, we see that there's a lot of damage coming out. Good concussion mine by Eric. Shredder Wind diving into Tezo Peiko. And then swiping out. Very good play there to make sure that it didn't die. Good peel by the Junkrat as well. Oh, well, we see Porky is up here challenging the objective, but Anduin will be cancelling it out. Right. Now I'm getting back into the rhythm of things, now that I've actually gotten to take a moment to sit down and kind of think. We do see that the teams are running at each other. Porky is in danger, gets hit by one skull missile, but won't take too much else. We can see a very pincered team. Tezo Peiko, very low. Nice double root by Anduin there, but that will only save just a little bit of time. But no, we can see 8 Monkey getting pushed back in. I don't think there's a pull this time. We see 8 Monkey relatively low, goes down. Porky nearly went down as well. You can see that there's a decent amount of damage coming out from the Mephisto and K-Star, but no, they will not quite go down. Interior survives, which I didn't honestly think they would survive. Oh, Blade's going for a charge. Nice charge, hitting both Anduin and Zenfarium. No, they will decide to back off and give that channel over. Just because we can see there is almost a full level difference currently. So very much we are going to need to see Heavy Hitters prioritizing that level gain, and may just have to deal with the amount of pressure that's going to come in from Can't Connect stuns cavalry, which they're on their way now. This building looks to go down before they may even get here, which if you're CCS, well done. Like, that's a good start. Right, level 10s are through. We see the high five Lucio. We see a nice double stun by Tezo Peiko, but I don't know what they can actually do here. There's a Sanctification on this material. Bunker Blaze. And no, we see everyone backing out. Just because there was a full rotate, but they are now mid as well. And it looks like that Junkrat is still having a think about it. Whether it be Rocket Ride or whether it be Riptire. Then there we get the fight coming out. Zamfarium getting hit by Mainsky. Very nice stun. However, no further damage onto them. Tezo Peiko is the one, however, taking the brunt of the damage outside of the building, that is. And relatively half, but Anduin just quickly trying to get them back up to full. Meanwhile, bottom, 8th Monkey is having a little harder time dealing with Eric. We can see these Junkrat traps getting under their skin, and that fort goes down. Meanwhile, top, we can see posturing is happening for boss. Meanwhile, the decision needs to be made for Heavy Hitters on what they're doing. Also, note that Junkrat did go Riptire. And for the other side... Oh, wait, no, that is because this is still up, isn't it? It is indeed. Look at me. They are very nervous to get things going. They're just waiting to be like, yep, I'm ready. And we can see they're immediately on it. That attack speed at level 4 makes this team very good at ripping through single targets. And we can see that they're doing well at it. But to talk about the heroics for Heavy Hitters, we do have the Cocoon on the Anubarak, Durance of Hate Mephisto, Light Bomb Anduin, Valkyrie on the Cassia. Not often you see that, but could be good. And rounding things out, we do have the Joanna with Leap. And are we just going to see them try to do both bosses? No, they look like they want... What does that even mean? Oh, stun coming out up here. Nice pull into Xenopharium. Xenopharium. Nice Durance of Hate, however, they can't quite follow up on that. Shredder Wind just has to sit still in a spot and have a think about things. Outside of being made to think about their life choices, nothing really happens. They are going to be safe. Now we can see that the camp is being shredded apart, and Tezo Peiko realizes that it may not be the best bet to go on there. Damage following up from Mephisto, not quite going to do anything there, but Peiko gets to live. Tezo Peiko went down to relatively low health in terms of the tank's health pool, but will ultimately be fine. Raka I do know you do like having the hot takes. Alright. Building also being taken mid. Can't connect stuns, getting off to a very good early lead. And they're now just looking to solidify that by possibly taking bottom boss as well. They do have a talent tier advantage. They may as well use it because I know that Heavy Hitters may be a little bit cagey about doing this at present. But no, it looks like they may be willing to fight. Tizapeko has found the enemy team is in a rough spot. Does get stunned to Tyrael. Keep in mind, Sanctification is still up, and I imagine we're going to see it. There it is. Leap coming out, doesn't quite find anything. Shredded Wind, however, does roll back through the bush in that invisible form. Meanwhile, Boss is still leashed. Slick Grub is first one to go down and dig a hit by the tail end of that Valkyrie, and that stun is just enough to make sure they can't do anything. Now we've got the issue of Junkrat Trap on the point. You only need one person standing on it. We see that No. We do see that Mephisto has been pushed out. Shredded Wind taking a decent amount of damage on the backdraft of it, but will be fine. Ultimately, that was a Lucio down, and that is what you need if you're heavy hitters. It has been a very smooth ride for Can't Connect stuns up until now, and it just looks like heavy hitters decided that we're done with that. We need our own momentum, and that Lucio kill very much looked to be the penny dropping, so to speak, that they needed. Man, I've been talking non-stop for basically 10 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes. That is just inherently how the solo casts work. You will be talking a little bit by yourself a little bit longer. We see K-Star is going to try channel. Porky just runs up and slaps him a little bit. Nice dive by Tezo. Xanathrium hits the Tyrael. Tyrael just standing there auto-attacking for their life, which makes sense. That is what Tyrael really does. There is a Riptide cancelled by the Cocoon. But we see that was the Anubrak going down first. Porky is relatively low. Arik as well as Xanathrium has been left to their own devices. However, they will not quite find anything. Nice leap, however. We can see Porky getting relatively low. Drops the Sanctification. And 8 Monkey now in Orchestration having to force their way out. Because while Porky, Shredded Wind, and Slick Grub are low, they are even lower. They spear onto Porky. They're taken down by the, I think it was Heavy Push, or whatever it's called, by Slick Grub. Yep, Heavy Casters, sorry. Where it does stun on that push off, and we can see that, well, Sonya was stopped in her tracks by one roller skating boy. And that is a good convincing fight if you can't connect stuns. A little bit better than that boss fight, and once again, we do have a full level lead for can't connect stuns. So now we're just getting damage control by heavy hitters again. What can they do really to get in this? They need those bigger team fights for their composition to kind of work. But they are struggling in it because the team of heavy hitters are just blowing things up really effectively. And now we can see the fight has broken out down below. There is the Sank, there is a leap, there is a light bomb. That is one of the front line down. That's two of the front line down. That's Riptide getting 3 members. But now we have Lucio stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Does get pulled by the Cassia, but Slick Rub doesn't really have far to run. But as I say, Vanubrak finds a stun, and that'll be them going down at the end. Heavy casters, I did say Raka, but that is the Lucio level 13. Speaking of which, we do see 16s are now through for can't connect stuns. But they do only have Junkrat and Greymane up, which can do a lot of siege, yes, but can't really step safely up currently. If they do, they very much risk dying to the 4-man, which if you're either of any of these heroes, you can just die sometimes. You don't have that big a health pool. You can do what you can. Shredded Wind has excellent escape, as well as Junkrat. Sorry, I should say Greymane and Junkrat both can do pretty well at escaping, especially if they're good at the hero, which I'm not good at Greymane, so I can't escape ever on him. But it is definitely something that you can get away with. Sonya does see the team rotating to top boss, but I don't think they're going to be able to get up there in time to deal with it. So we see heavy hitters instead doing their camp. Yeah, we can just hear Greymane absolutely tearing it for it. Sounds like they're the auto attack speed. Yep, they are the auto attack speed at level 16. Okay, I was never on heavy Greg. I was just on Greg, first of all. Right. Porky checks the bush, finds no one's in there, and will ultimately find 8 Monkey, however, finds Porky in there. Pushed out a little bit by it, but ultimately nothing will go wrong there, but Shredded Wind sees the oncoming storm. You can see that it is Porky dropping the Sanctification. They do not want to get hit by too much there. Everyone runs into it. Meanwhile, we're going to have a little bit split fight. as K-Star, Xanathrium, and Vapul comes out on the K-Star. Nice leap. They're trying their best. Root comes out, stops Blaze dead of tracks, and actually that is the Dog going down first. We see the Blaze going down second. Well, I was meant to say by Dog, I mean Great Main for Worgen, and that is a once, and that's what I said. We need those bigger team fights for the side of Heavy Hitters to really flourish. When we get those, they're doing really well. We can see that was a good fight for them. But they just need to do that a few more times, as they still have a lot to cover. There are 2 forts down. They're almost a full keep down as well. The objective is up, sure. Bottom boss is up in a few moments. They don't necessarily do that quickly, so it looks like instead they're wanting to commit to objective, which Junkrat already has vision on. And I imagine K-Star will be stalled out for a while. So you're really going to need someone down here to stop Arc doing what they want to do. Oh, speaking of which, they do finally stop Arc from getting away with things, and that will be the objective started, at least, by Heavy Hitters. Whether they can actually fully channel it is the next question. Because it looks like we are going to have a 5v5 team fight once again. Xanathrium hiding in a bush. We do see the turrets coming out. That is a lot of damage. Double root, Sanctification drop. Bunker drops as well, so a little bit of a overlap with those defensive. But Simporky and Mainsky really needed to use those because they were just a bit unsure about how things were going to go down. Slickrub does get the channel arc all the while peppering from below. Tezopago does use that W, surviving just a little bit longer. You can see now the peppering of the Junkrat mines just doing a little bit too much. They do get the stall on. No, they don't quite get the stall onto Ape Monkey. Ape Monkey barely got it before the Q hit. And now we're back on that clock for Can't Connect Stuns. Tezopaco goes in, hits a double stun, managed to take one down before they go down. Shredder Wind, meanwhile, and Ape Monkey takes him down. We have a go for a throat drop. Stun coming out onto Mansky, and that is a double kill now. Triple kill? No. Pull coming out from Anduin, hits a nice double root, but Xanathrium does have a lot they need to deal with there. They go down. Lucio is so good for chasing people down. Even with Anduin's move speed they get from that level 13, they can't get out of danger, and they do go down. And now we can see what potentially is an end call by the side Can't Connect Stuns. Sorry, I was having a drink there. I should have to fill up my drink in a few moments. But we can see it's the cavalry of Heavy Hitters. And all while Can't Connect Stuns are the one sieging. Which they can also get this top building pretty easily. Just they're a little bit slow on it. But Sonya's only just coming up now. Nubrak also a little bit later. So they can comfortably get this before the real bulk of the team gets back. Yep. And literally just as Nubrak spawns, that second keep falls. So now we're going to have a very convincing team fight for the side of Heavy Hitters to see if they can finish here. This is going to be a hard one with only one building down. It is doable, but you typically need at least 4 out of the 5 going down. Speaking of which, we are going to have these safe positionings currently. Boss positioned by Heavy Hitters. They are down a talent tier is probably the important thing to note. And I don't think they can start it, especially because we can see the side of Can't Connect Stuns collapsing bottom. We see that Durance hitting point blank, and that is a Teriel. Stopped in a long time, but ultimately we'll be able to get out. Light Bomb coming out. Nice unstop. High five onto Shredder Wind, meaning that they don't get hit. Junkrat is the one stuck. Nice triple stun by Tezopago, Porky and Co. Relatively low. There is the Sanctification pull. Slick Rub straight into the Sanct, so they will be fine. Oh wow, that was a decent amount of damage that CCS were taking, while Heavy Hitters really actually came out of it relatively healthy. The main damage onto Ape Monkey, and they weren't even really in threat of dying, but we can see now the turnaround coming back. They reset boss immediately. Good discipline. Shredder Wind getting stunned. High five coming out just after, so there's not too much of an effect. Mainsky taking a lot, but Ape Monkey not really wanting to commit to that. Reptile comes out, hits 2, actually maybe 3 members, no, just 2 members. But we do see now fight going to be once again disengaged. Nope, Tezopaco says no. We can see Blaze is the one stuck this time. Takes a lot of damage, will go down. And that is maybe the start of what Can't Connect Stuns need as they are chasing. Leap going on to Shredder Wind. Shredder Wind trying their best. It does get out in the end. Oh, Sonya going back in. I like that Sonya keeps going in and we go, no, mate. We lost our tank as well. Oh, that Valkyrie just fell short of finding Shredder Wind, but there's a move speed on a Greymane. That's not going to be the easiest one to hit. See, Tyrael is on the chase, but no, it looks like Boss is now going to be the call by can't connect stuns, and they, well, can connect the damage, and it will be torn apart relatively quick so far. But it looks like Heavy Hitters have sniffed things out. Traps being purposely eaten already, and Boss being leashed once again. There is a sanctification. 8 Monkey can't get a stun off there because of that invuln. And just like that, that is a Sonya going down that you would have probably hoped lived. But now we see Shredder Wind taking down the Mephisto. That bite, but core, all the while that fight was going on, did go down. And that core was actually dropping for a long time. Basically for the last 30-40 seconds, that was losing health. But Heavy Hitters were in a spot where if they let the boss through, they may have been in trouble. But let me swap on over to the game summary screen. Yep, that was an unfortunate end for Heavy Hitters, but it does happen sometimes where just the pressure you have is a little bit too much. I nearly clicked the wrong one for the prediction outcome, which I will hold off on a little bit actually, so you guys aren't spoiled before the actual result happens. No, there it is. So, good damage by Mephisto in general. They did do a lot, but that siege was a lot to deal with. Can't connect stuns, absolutely were able to get through buildings in just moments, and that really paid off for them. Just because those fights were constantly down, we can see that. Oh, thank you, John, not following. We can see that with the damage coming, with the siege coming out and those buildings taken early on, it got very hard for Heavy Hitters to keep up. And by we got to that end game, there's really not much they could actually do, as they did have basically a large wave coming, 2 large waves coming in at all times, and that core at 2 armor plates drops pretty quickly. It doesn't really hold up. It does get a little bit flimsy in that regard. But also have to say excellent healing by Lucio, keeping Mephisto in check with what they can do. In terms of talents, we're going to have a look at that while we're waiting for the next map, because I don't know quite what it will be yet. But we do see here, relatively standard things across the board, I think. Interesting to see the Valkyrie from Cassia, but that is picked up a little bit more when we get into the higher ranks as opposed to Lightning Ball. Probably the most interesting thing to me is Push Forward on Anduin. It is good if you're consistent with getting those auto attacks off, with getting your W's out. And we can see it did pay off for them. It paid off them pretty well, but they couldn't quite escape everything. And ultimately, that first map did go over to can't connect stuns. So let me throw it on over to map view. So the question is, where are we going next? Yeah, I think you're right there, John Knight. They did excellent that map. Very hard for them to deal with. The Saints were well timed by Porky. And there really wasn't too much counterplay that Heavy Hitters could do. Which, speaking of Heavy Hitters, it appears we do have the next map. And it's going to be Sky Temple. And I'm going to mute myself quickly while I have a drink. Sorry. Right, I'm back. Sky Temple. I do like Sky Temple. It's one of my favorite maps to play. I know not everyone is a fan of it, but I figured out how I like playing this map, and it works out pretty well for the teams I am on. I won't quite reveal how I do things yet, but just know I do have a plan up my sleeves in general. Right, looks like we're just getting readied up now. Now everyone is in the lobby, and I should really put that it was CCS who did choose this map. So once again, we'll have to see how things go. It may be similar to last time, but I hope the Heavy Hitters can pull something out of their bag of tricks for this map, because I do like a good 3-map series. Thank you, Give Me More, for rating. I hope your stream went well. Alright, let me drop it on over into the draft screen, shall I? Sylvanas banned immediately. didn't wait. They like, Savannah's gone. Let's see if I'm doing the right thing. Is it exclamation mark? Is it forward slash? Right, and we do see Brightwing and Lucio banned out as well. They don't want to deal with a Lucio again. Lucio has did very well last series, so they're not wanting to let them get away with things. And there we go, actually did it correctly. I do sometimes remember how to do the streaming thing. Not the great of a streaming thing. I'm better at the casting thing, talking thing. But we do now have that 4th ban coming up. Are we going to never heal it? No, we get Felstad banned out. We're getting rid of those globals. Ooh, no. Never mind. I just say no more Twin Blades. That's a shame. But we do see Abathur picked up Mooncake. Actually, I don't think was in the last one, so they will be doing it for. They'll be doing it live. Actually, were they last one? Oh no, I can't remember now. Alright, so have a good night. Give me all. And we see Blaze picked up once again. Mainsky did so well on it last time. May as well. And what are we going to see next? Junkrat Arik also did very well with it. Garrosh picked up. Good map for him. Not banned out this time, so they can actually use him. What do we see next? Cassia won. No, Cassia was the last pick last time. Oh, I don't think we'd see Mephisto either. Maybe an auto attacker. Rhaegar. Yep. Oh, right. That was the other healer banned. It was Heavy Hitters that banned out the Garrosh last time. Because K-Star, well, Rhaegar was banned out by the side of can't connect stuns. Last ban for can't connect stuns coming up. I should guess say 3rd ban. Because technically that's a better way to say it. Genji banned out, funnily enough. Which I know Genji can get a lot of value on maps such as these. But I'm always interested to see it banned out. Because I'm always wondering if that ban is worth more on something else, such as I remember seeing Sergeant Hammer being banned out last map. But yes, Abathur is such a good one for opening everything up. But now last ban is coming up. What will we see Heavy Hitters ban out? Maybe a healer still? Mistukov? No, ETC banned. They don't want the tanks to really have their fun today. I think consistently they banned out tanks more often than any other role. Oh, or outside of Savannah's not allowed to do anything. Alright, what will we see picked next is my question. The timer ticking down. There's the hammer that I was expecting to see. And we have Morales as well. So that will be a very fast shooting hammer who can live through a decent amount. So I imagine we will still see a second tank coming up. Not quite sure which one, however. Varian would be interesting. Mal'Ganis or Joe would be interesting. I just realized Joanna's still up. And if you can wolve out the other team, that becomes much more difficult. I'm very surprised Joe actually made it at this point without being picked or banned. Especially if you're running something such as an Tannis with that auto attack speed, as well as I imagine not what I thought I was going to see, but Maiev is very interesting. We may see a Bloodlust comp here. Man, Joe kind of just makes things difficult if she appears. I was hoping they'd pick it on that queue. Now they're not going to pick it all because I've said it. Sure. Sure, we're getting a Chen. So that would likely be the elusive Brawler talent. Yeah, we're likely going to see elusive Brawler at level 7, just because there is such a heavy auto attack team on the side of Heavy Hitters. So this is going to be a interesting one to say the least. I like where this is going. So what I'm going to do is roll the pre-roll, start for prediction once again, and we'll get into it. So I'll see you all on the other side of this. You know what? We're going to start with a side of heavy hitters this time. We have Mooncake on the Abathur, K-Star on that Rhaegar, Zanfanarian on the Maiev. Ape Monkey is on the... What is his name? Tennis, and Terzopeko is on Garrosh this time. On the other side, we see Slick Rub on the Morales, Eric, Junkrat, Shredder Wind on the Sergeant Hammer, the Mainski on Blaze, and Sim Borky is on Chin, which I didn't think I'd see Chin much this season, but funny enough, this is already the second map I've seen Chin on, so greatly enjoying it. But yes, Focus Morales is probably going to be play. Porky is just going to slap Tears. I'm just noting, Mooncake's right here. Just if they get spotted, it's in trouble. You see Terzopeko running their way down. Yep, there's a spot onto Mooncake. You don't let that Abba live, right? Nope. We see Abathur go down. Meanwhile, back here, we see Porky is in an awkward spot. Zanfarium jumps over them. Porky taking a lot of damage. All while Hammer is hitting them from above. Peko doing their best to hold on. Ducks down. Ape Monkey has now found Shredder Wind. We see the pull coming on to Slick Rub. The push coming out. Slick Rub in danger. Will be next one go down. Nice leap by Zanfarium. Maiev. But they will be fine. Terzopeko hiding in a bush. All while Ape Monkey getting pestered by mines. And we can see the Believers out for one team, and I'm probably going to just refund that at this. We'll see if someone's going to lose 100 points or not. We see the Mainski is going to clear that wave. Junkrat not quite going to be able to do so. Terzopeko really just running around and having a good time so far this map. And we see Rhaegar has found the Junkrat trap. So I imagine we're going to get this camp to happen and then just a heavy push happen top. Because for wait for get clear and even camp clear on can't connect stuns is that great? Not can't get stuns. On heavy hitters isn't amazing. They will have a little bit of difficulty actually clearing for this camp. Because we can see that Ape Monkey did go at least the reactive parry, so they're going to be a little bit harder to kill. But in terms of dealing with things such as camps, it becomes a little bit harder. Right, we see teams pushing in. We do see that they get on top of Shredder Wind, which they gets thrown in. Nice throw by Terzopeko. Slick Rub is next on the chopping block. Porky doing their best to help them, but no, the reset on Maiev did enough. K-Star low jumps out above. Just because if Porky finds them, they're going to be in trouble. Meanwhile, we see Abathur playing much safer from now on. But no, we see Porky is still in trouble, gets thrown, gets stunned, does kick out. They will drink for their life, but unfortunately their life is not quite worth that much percentage of alcohol, and they will go down in the end. They needed just a higher percent, I think, would have kept them safe. And Shredder Wind to set back up. We see our tennis is going to need to go to stop Eric from doing what they've done, which is a little bit late. The front gate is already down. Ape Monkey going to do their best to tear things apart. Does get the swap onto Eric, however dashes onto the... I can't remember what they're called. Golems? Sand golems? See Eric doing their best to hold on. They do get thrown. Ape Monkey thrown on top of him. They will go down to the end. But while that's been happening, there is push going on top. There's push going on. There's a channel getting objective. The objective getting channeled mid. And that is a problem, so to speak. Because we've got a lot of shots off for really not much... For not much effort, let's say. There's not really been too much pushback in that regard. We can see level 7s are online first for heavy hitters. Porky is a little bit of an awkward spot, but Zanafrium has other people on mind, and Shredder Wind now has that mobility in the siege tank form. Porky using that elusive brawler does do what they can, which I did expect was going to be the case, and actually survives. Slick Rub able to get their healing onto them. That Morales single target healing really is quite potent in even the best of times. And that is what may have been a good fight for a good kill for heavy hitters. Was just stalled out enough by both Chen, elusive brawler, and the healing from Morales. Also, just note, Junkrat went down again. Unfortunate, it does happen. Mooncake did go that cooldown mule, so they'll be healing up slowly but surely. Also, I've realized I need to better keep a better eye on this Junkrat. Oh, Ape Monkey is here now. They do get a swap and Shredder Wind. Meanwhile, Slick Rub is thrown. They need to watch out for themselves as Porky does kick out. Stun However, just a little bit early, Xanathrium front on top of Porky. Porky drinking like they can. But no, they will be fine and continue to drink more. Ape Monkey pushed in. We can see that they are going to move around. Porky actually in the sweet spot of the Fan of Knives, so they will be fine. Nope, bot lane is pushing again, by the way. Nope, we see Paul coming out to Chen. The swap trying to happen by Ark onto Eric. Sun coming out, Porky drinking. Tizopeko doesn't quite get the throw they probably thought they would, and they go down to the end of that. Push top will be done. And all while that was happening, we can see Mainski has been double soaking, and Abafa has been doing the best to soak as well. Because if we look at what's happening, that's not soak. Is it? It's this one? Yeah. In terms of soak, Abafa is doing their job, getting closer to 6k, as well as Blaze has pushed just past it at this point. Which also, keep in mind that we do have Junkrat doing this bottom camp again, as well as Ape Monkey seeing what they can do. And Mainski is actually feeling a little bit cheeky, looking like he wants to steal some stuff. I know there's a fight going on up top, but we can see now that they're going to slowly be forced off with Junkrat, however causing issue there. Chen Keg does get the shade go onto them. We do see that is likely going to be a death by Port. That is Porky going down. Slick Crab will be next on the chopping block. Is going to go down now. Shooter win is fine. However, meanwhile, we see Ape Monkey not going to be able to do what their other team, rest of the team has done. Yeah, there's some definitely interesting things going on around everything happening. So we do have the Heroics online. I could probably be keeping a better eye on things in terms of what's happening. But it is a little bit chaotic. Yeah, there is really a free separate... Really early Garrosh use, well, really early clone use, but we can see that it is a Bloodlust comp. Surprise, surprise, for the side of Heavy Hitters. We see that Bloodlust on the Rhaegar, Warden's Cage. I nearly called it the wrong thing. Maiev. Ultimate Evolution, Abafa, Blind on that, Suppression Pulse, I should say, on the Ape Monkey. They do have that Suppression Pulse. I should say Artanas, but their name quite fun. And we do see Decimate Garrosh. Meanwhile, pushing top, we do see Shredded Wind has gone that Napalm Strike. But Cooldown Bunker Blaze. Junkrat went Riptire. Keg Chen. And we do see that is the cooldown drop shit or medevac from the Morales. And Ape Monkey now has been left alone. They get the blind off. However, that is then between a rock and a hard place. Tizopeko seeing if they can throw him out. They do throw him out in time. Chen not able to get on top of him. Gives the minions a little kick around, but not going to get anything. Tizopeko did go that throw range, so they actually threw Porky a little bit too far in that scenario. Nice jump by Xanathrium, Zenfanarium, and they get the bunker out of team. And actually the team fully in the bunker. We do see Morales is sitting in there praying. They actually were caught out by Tizopeko as they got out. Porky doing the best to hold on. Nice stun by Mainski. However, that's a healer going down first. We do see those them next. And we see Porky, Mainski running up, getting hit by Ape Monkey. Does charge 114 health. Also, Chen just went down late as well. The swap going out. Rhaegar actually catches the Blaze on the backswing. And that will be Blaze going down. Meanwhile, Mooncake is doing their best to keep the team soaked up. Eric is going to do their best to push top now. Chicks camp realizes no one is here. So likely realizes this is happening at boss. 13 advantage also for our mention for the side of Heavy Hitters. This is what they needed after that first map. Also, thank you for following Top Gun. I did see that. I just didn't mention it. Sorry. We can now see that Junkrat still in the camp. Not the easiest. Going to be a little bit awkward if someone appears in the middle of nowhere. But Eric is going to be fine. They jump out and do a little bit of halfing. And we see that there is a call for our tennis to go help there. Help top, I should say, instead of there. Because not everyone listening will know what there means if I'm just saying it out loud. Quickly going to bring up talents for those who see that it comes in. And Jockey, yes indeed it is a bus. I am on a delay just while I'm casting. Just because, well, it is a live game and I don't want anyone to necessarily get an advantage through dishonesty. Also, I think Tizopeko used throw there, so now it's going to be a lot harder for him to get in. We see that Chen jumps in, uses kick. And that is a good steal by... Can't connect stuns, and Heavy Hitters now in an awkward spot. We see the cleanse coming out. Tizopeko starting to do their Beyblading motion. The 47 armor in a dream. Will they live? They do the best they can. Rhaegar gets one last Q off, but unfortunately, even Garrosh in the middle of the enemy team doesn't quite live forever. Maybe when we see that Deadly Calm come through, if they do choose to grab it, will be able to do well into that. That is not a line. Bus Ector. But no, we see the team is doing well. We do see that is the cooldown mule being dropped. But I don't think that will quite be enough to stop Hammer +2 Siege Giants. Oh, make that 4 Siege Giants, but they went down before the other Siege Giants even made it. So, Artanis is going to be starting the top objective. We can see Chin and Slick Rob looking bottom top. No, fair enough, Joker. Had a good night. Well, we can see Eric, I should say, not Ark. Eric is dove on. K-Star dodges. Main skis are stunned, but Zenathanarium not being forwarded the same luxury. So 8 Monkey is going to be channeling what they can top, but it will be collapsed bottom by most 4-man, and just Blaze going up to fight 8 Monkey, which I don't think will go amazingly, but it can go pretty well. And now we can see that Mooncake is going to be doing this. Oh, that is 2 free members in there, and that ship flies to safety, and that will be 8 Monkey likely needing to back out, as there may be a lot of the enemy team pushing in on them. As we can see, the pinch is slowly closing. Oh, Mansky doesn't quite find 8 Monkey, but now we can see what is happening. And that is not where you want to be if you are VR Tennis, taking a lot of damage. We see the blind use, and it goes down. But yeah, Crazy only 3 forts down. In top 5 now, but crazy that this is the case. But it looks like we may be looking at a keep push for the side of Can't Connect Stuns. Heavy Hitters, once again with that uphill battle, which I thought they'd overcome this map, but it looks like they are not quite there yet. And we may see it is the time to run at the team and see what happens. But no, Zenathanarium did get found by the trap. Tizo Peiko finds it as well. K-Star running for what they can. Porky, however, has no qualm taking down the dog, and will use that keg to get back to the team, interrupting as much as possible. Mooncake and Tizo Peiko are the one. Oh, I didn't say Mooncake, but Tizo Peiko is in trouble, goes down. We do see the last Q trying to hit Slick Rub, and now Zenathanarium is the one who is targeted by Porky, which Porky does use that stagger. They're able to get out relatively safely, and no drinking. There's for drinking. My favorite character drinks in the middle of a fight. Not reading that one out loud, but no, we do see that it will be going down. The building slowly dropping, and actually that blaze on the Zenathanarium will spell the end of them. Sim Porky once again drinking for what they can. And that is 8 Monkey now for one in firing line. Mansky didn't quite find the stun, however VR Tennis not quite able to find the escape, and will go down at the end. So now Hammer is slowly sieging that building. Keep in mind Porky's relatively low. Morales can only heal so much. And no, we can see they are being forced out now. Shredder Wind just slowly backing out to safety, while the rest of Heavy Hitters just need to see what they can do elsewhere. I've realized that I'm basically going back to back in terms of the heavy teams. I've got Heavy Hitters today and Heavy Greg tomorrow, which I believe are in the same org. That should be interesting to see the heavy teams going along. You know, John, that joke probably makes much more sense to the people who are American and follow things like the Super Bowl. I do not know anything about it. Also, nice throw on to Shredder Wind. Shredder Wind does then get tethered by Zenathanarium, and is the one getting ran down. Slick Rub, meanwhile, has a lot of energy. They are going to be doing pretty well to keep the hammer up. Nice Junkrat, Riptide, K-Star, and Maev. Relatively low. K-Star does get jumped on by Porky, will eventually get taken down. And Tizo Peiko is now once again one in trouble. Mooncake will see if they can peel with their own Garrosh play. Does throw Tizo Peiko, does throw Porky the other way. And that little time it took Garrosh to mount may be their demise. As we can see, they aren't going to be allowed to mount any longer. But Porky did get slowed down enough where that Garrosh is able to mount and actually get out. But no, they don't get out. They see what is happening. Oh, never mind, they've been fouled. Right, the Maev is going in, does get hit by Shredder Wind. It gets actually pushed so far that they get the tether damage off. They're back on the back line of Slick Rub and Shredder Wind, but will get taken down by that Sergeant Hammer. Tizo Peiko is now getting pushed into the corner. Gets that move speed from the... I was going to say, gets the move speed from the... Bug. Abathur, but won't be forwarded the nicety of living. And it looks like we may just have a Corkle. Oh, yep. The K-Star has found everyone. Mooncake has realized they also need to move. Shredded Wind taking a little bit more damage than I'd like, actually, because they were a target of this building and behind. But no, it looks like this may be a misstep. I'm not sure yet. But no, it looks like that the teams are locked in from what is going to be happening. Unstoppable by Ape Monkey. They are going to do what they can. They're swinging for the hills. They are that auto attack E build, so they're going to do pretty well. Porky all while being pushed while drinking. I'm also not a fan of being pushed while drinking, to be fair. Don't do that to me. But now we can see the core actually not going down very quickly at all. That is Bloodlust popped. Chen pops Keg. We can see they're doing their best to hold on. Heavy Hitters barely keeping things in line. They do see 2 kills now. They can see Porky taking a lot of damage coming up. Mainsky taking a lot as well. Porky holding on, 60% left. 12% left on core. They do go down at the end, and that will be a full team wipe this late on for the side of Can't Connect Stuns. Heavy Hitters, I think you honestly need to may just go core. But no, it looks like they're playing the safe play, going boss, and may push with that. All the while, Abathur does have their cooldown mule on core, so that's 50-ish% worth of damage, sorry, 90% worth of core damage will slowly be healed up. Very unfortunate if you're the side of Can't Connect Stuns going down there like that. But if you're Heavy Hitters, that is the breath of fresh air you need to carry on this series, so to speak. And now we get safe play coming out. And with that Abathur cooldown mule, we're at a point where it may not be the easiest just to rush down core. Just because we can already see what, maybe 16% healed up there? Yeah, that was way too close for I imagine Heavy Hitters liking. But no, we can see the core will be getting healed up again in a few moments, I imagine. Mooncake is just waiting for that cooldown mule to come up. No, we're just going to hat. As we do see now that we are going to be pushing on. Swap doesn't find anything, but Slim Porky pushed in a little bit too far. I'm going to open up Twins real quick as we do actually not see the Deadly Calm, but instead see that Heavy Toss. Sorry, take a might, I mean. Right, that is a big Keg coming out. I do see the Keg upgrade. That is a very fast Chen. Xanatharium is on the back. Xanathanarium is on the back line. Does run out. Doesn't go back to their ghost. Does a little leap. Does see if they can take down Ark. Ark actually does go down to the Abathur. But that is a Maev stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're trying slowly to make their way out. Unfortunately, Shredded Wind does find them in the end. You can see also Rhaegar went down. Tezepeko doing their best to run. The move speed helps so much, and it looks like we're... Oh, Abathur move. Warning ping coming out. Abathur maybe a little bit too late to run. As there's all 4 members right next to him. We see Chen jumps. We can see him protect from that. But we can now see a double toss. Tezepeko has a lot to ask for here. There's just a little bit too much. That Keg stopping him from really slowing down Shredder Wind and Slick Rub. So that will likely be it this time, unless a miracle happens. That may be the miracle we're looking for, actually, as this is now a rough spot, but Chen is going to do a lot of core damage. Actually, that's Hammer down. That's Mainsky down. Can they stop Porky from finishing? This is the $1 million question now. Does Tezepeko have a throw? No, Porky does end of the end. That one last kick takes out the core. GG called by both teams, and that will be the series going over to the side of Can't Connect Stuns. Well played to both teams. Well played indeed. Whew. What a up and back and forth ending there. That really, I thought Can't Connect Stuns were about to throw a core once again. Very close to all going down. But that definitely barely went over to them. That probably was a little bit closer than Can't Connect Stuns would have liked at the end there. But it does happen. It does happen that way. So I'm going to actually throw it over to the game summary screen, as I realize that I'm actually still not on the right screen yet, because I'm bad at that. So, looking at the stats, we do see Sergeant Hammer absolutely doing their job. Most siege, most hero damage. That's what you expect from Sergeant Hammer nowadays. Especially once the 20s come through. Especially with that Ultra Capacitors. That attack speed does very well. Healing, Morales did do a lot of single target healing. That is really what they excel at. And those auto attackers aren't that great at getting through it all. In terms of the other team, we do see excellent siege by Abathur and Soak, actually 23k absolutely tearing it up there, but you do expect that from Abathur's. Maiev 61k hero damage. I wish I could play Maiev that well. Instead, I just feed. I can't say Hammer is my Maiev is my best hero by any means. I'm gonna throw myself into a lobby and see if anyone's willing to join me. Unless things have changed and suddenly this is a best of 5 series, which I don't believe it is. We'll find out soon enough, I hope. This can't connect stuns, right? That really does show up there, huh? Right, let's have a look at talents as well before I do anything else. So, I do like the pickup of the Medevac dropship. Does really well. This is probably an underutilized heroic where honestly it should be seen more, in my humble opinion. But it's not always something that you will see in these scenarios. We do also see interesting Chen did go that untapped potential. I do like the pickup of Withering Flames, even if it wasn't the heaviest spell damage, but it does help with the Maiev. And that typical Blaze offlane, typical Hammer, typical Junkrat, everything else relatively typical. Artanis swap build is probably the other thing that stands out. I forgot to actually push enter on the interview thing. So hopefully we'll have someone from Can't Connect Stuns join me shortly. And hopefully I've remembered, yes, I have indeed remembered to unmute them as well. And it looks like we have Shredded Wind with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Let me just turn you up real quick before I do anything else.
Oh, for sure.
Let's just crank you up to 200 and pray that works out. So that series was a good one. Was there any special prep you did for heavy hitters, or did you kind of already know what you were wanting to do no matter what happened?
No special prep. We just did our usual practice beforehand, and then we kind of just went in and was like, show me what you got.
Speaking about going in, map number 1, Ultrac Pass, you had a very heavy kind of push comp to start with, very heavy auto attack, and you took down buildings very quick. Is that always your kind of go-to plan there? Just get as much macro pressure as possible and see what happens?
Yeah. Against them, I mean, they're Mephisto Cassia, and we're Greymane Tyrael Junkrat. Like, we just hit structures way better than them, and they hit heroes way better than us. Is kind of evidence when we like did 5v5 team fights. It didn't always go so well. But we did hit structures way better than them, and that's kind of how we just got ahead. We just ignored fights and kind of went for that win condition.
Yeah, and even when the fights were happening, Lucio did very well that series. Absolutely killed it on the healing. So I have to say a special shout out to them.
Dude, Slick Rob killed it with the high five. He had so many good high fives that, like, you know, saved me out of light bomb or whatever. He had some really, really good high fives. It was really, really awesome.
And the chat was also talking about those sanctifications. Porky, I know, does get memed on a little bit sometimes, but he actually did those very well this series. That very first map, he did excellent with them.
No. Porky's a really, really good player, but honestly, what's more important is he's a really, really good shot caller. He has just like a voice. He has like an idea of how the game's going to be played, and it really, really helps us down here in Nexus Div.
So anyone who's listening, then they just need to know, catch you on the week that Porky's sick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hope Porky loses his voice. Yep.
Or that, yeah. He'll just like type everything.
Map number 2 was a little bit closer than the last one. Were you expecting just that heavy auto attack ABBA build, ABBA comp from the outset? Were you expecting a first lock ABBA?
Well, the funny thing is we were planning on going Abathur, and then they first picked Abathur, and that kind of ruined our plans. You had to change it around a bit. I don't really know what we were expecting. It wasn't what they picked though. It was kind of weird, and like, you know, we just kind of picked right into them. Like, our hammer is so good into them. I'm a really bad hammer. They should have been their pick should have been way more useless than they were. It was really, really bad at hammer, but yeah, I don't know if I was expecting those heroes, and we kind of just picked to counter them, and you know, was simple enough, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it worked pretty well throughout. Maev's one of those ones I don't quite understand. I will admit that I'm not good at Maev or many melee assassins, but that seemed to be kind of a main spanner in the works, but that was also the one that was really, how'd you kind of try to adjust around the Maiev constantly diving? You and for healer in particular?
Well, I think the secret is to just play kind of further back. When the Maiev blinks on me, I just instantly boop her back and then Z away. I mean that's really what it is. Like Maiev can only E so far in. As long as I'm playing like within arm's reach of her, I should be fine.
Oh, you know what? Fair enough. And it actually did end up working well for you, albeit it did go later, and that map did go quite a bit later. And speaking about later, that first call core where you got it so low, how was that kind of feeling? We just all wiped there and almost repeated it that second call just to barely get it.
Yeah. Well, we should have had it on the first one. It's just a variety of things. Like I tanked a bunch of keep shots. Got me kind of low. And then I got swapped into the cage. That was really bad. But like if I stayed alive like a few seconds longer, we would have had that. I just didn't play it the best.
And were you afraid it was about to happen again on the second time? Just seeing Porky barely and slowly just hitting that core down.
Slightly. I had faith in Porky, but I was slightly nervous.
Understandable. It was holding on. It was taking far longer to kill that than I expected would have liked. But I will open the floor to you just because I'm bad with these questions anyway. Is there anything you want to say about the series? Any thank yous? Go ahead.
Shout out to CCS for being a great org. Shout out to all of my teammates for being wonderful, supportive, awesome teammates. And shout out to NGS for putting on a great show. Shout out to you, the caster, for doing a great job, I'm sure. And yeah.
Let's just ignore I was late.
No.
Oh, never mind.
That's all good.
No. Thank you so much. It was a very enjoyable series. I will hopefully get it up in just a few moments after I finish. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Right. What a series that was. I realized I should have probably turned up Shooter Wind and OBS as well. There was probably way too many things I needed to do. But as I said, excellent healing there by Slickrogue in particular. That was excellent Lucio play. But that'll be it for me for now. I need to make dinner. I essentially got done with work, drove home, panicked because there's traffic, turned on computer, turned on stream almost immediately, casted. Now it's almost 7 p.m. and I need food. So that will be it for me. I hope everyone has had a good time. Sorry, it is just only a 2-map series, but sometimes it does work out that way. Can't connect stuns. Very good first map. Very hard for Heavy Hitters deal with. As I said, they had a very heavy push comp, and they just tried to not quite take as many fights as they needed. Also, thank you, Slickrobe, for following. Heavy Hitters did try to get a few of those team fights. We saw when it did happen, it came together. Unfortunately, that core just went down to Winions. And then when it came to map number 2, much closer between the two teams. Very even fights. I did like Heavy Hitters, what they were running. Can't connect stuns, however, barely edged it out. And by barely, I really mean barely, as they nearly did lose it at the end. So, that'll be it for me for now. I have been your host, The Lime Bust. It's been a joy casting this series, and to everyone here, I wish you a good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Depending where you are in the world. World, because time zones are weird, is what I meant to say. But I'll see everyone in the Nexus. Goodbye, at least, for now.